We've all seen those amazing street looks where Converse sneakers are the undeniable stars. They go with everything: tailored trousers, distressed jeans, casual blazers, bohemian dresses, knit sweaters. They are definitely the kings of urban style. But have you ever wondered where these iconic sneakers come from? The Converse story goes back to 1908, when a guy named Marquis Mills Converse founded the Converse Rubber Shoe Company in Massachusetts. His small factory in Malden was making rubber shoes for men, women, and kids, a new thing at the time that got families in the community involved. Mills himself became a local celebrity for being the first person in his hometown of Lyme, New Hampshire to own a car. But the real game changer came in 1915, when Converse made a surprising move into athletic footwear. Coincidence? Not at all. Basketball was born in 1891 in Springfield, Massachusetts, just 155 kilometers from Converse's factory. While baseball was still king, basketball was gaining popularity, and sports clubs were springing up everywhere. Among them was the All-Star team, founded by Converse themselves to promote their brand new Converse All-Star athletic shoes, which hit the market in 1917. What made those early Converse All-Stars different? Good question. Picture this: a group of basketball players eagerly opening boxes of the brand new Converse sneakers in 1917. What did they see exactly? On the outside, they looked like fairly simple canvas sneakers, but there was a key detail. The toe cap was reinforced with rubber, the same material used in the sole. And speaking of the sole, that's where the real innovation lies. It had a diamond pattern that provided extraordinary grip for the players. They could jump, stop, and pivot on the court with remarkable ease. But that's not all. The Converse All-Star also had a high-top boot design that covered up to the ankle, protecting it with a circular patch featuring a stamped star. It was an original touch that set them apart. If you examine your Converse today, you'll notice that the diamond-patterned sole has remained unchanged since 1917, a lasting symbol of what made these sneakers great from the beginning. A practical yet bold design, perfect for basketball. From a business standpoint, Converse understood the timing perfectly. They positioned themselves in the right place at the right time to capture a sports market that was just starting to take off. While rubber shoes and boot designs had been around for decades, Converse found a unique niche by combining innovative materials, ergonomics, and fresh style. They became the official basketball shoe brand in the United States thanks to that winning formula. Interestingly, even though they were an innovative product, they didn't really catch on with young men of that time, until World War I came along. In that setting, the company saw opportunities and came up with an innovative marketing strategy. They enlisted basketball player Charles Chucktaylor as the coach of the All-Star team and turned him into a sort of ambassador for the sneakers. After each game, he showcased his sales skills, convincing coaches from other clubs to buy this specialized footwear. Additionally, in the early days of basketball, Taylor often taught other coaches about the sport and its rules. The result of his efforts: by the 1930s, most basketball players in the United States were wearing those sneakers. In 1934, they were renamed in his honor as the Chucktaylor All-Star, commonly known as Chucks. And it was around that time that Chucktaylor's iconic signature was added to the inner ankle patch. Now, there are different accounts regarding whether Chucktaylor was involved in designing these sneakers, or if he simply worked as a sales representative. Sam Smallage, the curator of the Converse archive, cleared up the uncertainties in a 2020 interview with the website Mr. Porter by stating that there is no evidence in their archives that Mr. Taylor made any modifications to the sneakers. However, it's possible that he received feedback from players and coaches and then relayed it. He just might not have been in the workshop sewing and directing how improvements should be made. Whatever it may have been, it worked. Converse sneakers were a beloved sports shoe for everyone. And then World War II came along. In September 1939, Converse used its factories and shoemaking expertise to produce boots for American Army pilots, along with parkas and rubber shoes. Despite this, the sneakers continued to be top sellers for the brand and kept their successful design while incorporating small updates to improve not just the look, but also the performance for basketball. They even made it onto the big screen in 1960 with the movie Tall Story. where Anthony Perkins played a basketball player who romanced Jane Fonda. However, new demands and needs in the sport gradually pushed the Chucktaylor popularized sneakers into the background. What happened was that more competition entered the market. Brands like Nike or Adidas were having their big moment, and honestly, they had more specialized technology focused specifically on sports. But our Converse found a new home within different cultural movements. Plus, seeing stars like Elvis Presley photographed in them helped break the association with purely athletic footwear. Those humble sneakers became an icon of counterculture. It all started in the 1970s when rebellious punks like Sid Vicious and the guys from the Ramones adopted these sneakers. They wore them all worn out and scuffed as a symbol of their rejection of the establishment. Converse executives realized the potential of this aesthetic, and in 2016 they launched a line inspired by the Sex Pistols. They sold like hotcakes. From then on, these sneakers kept gaining followers from all corners. In 1976, Sylvester Stallone himself sported them in Rocky, making them a must-have for tough boxers and street gangs. By the 80s, they were so popular that Converse released a commercial saying, "They're everywhere," and they truly were. But those who truly embraced them as a symbol were the grunge kids of the 90s. Kurt Cobain was a lover of Chucktaylors and helped solidify them as the favorite footwear of the alternative and marginalized. Since then, these sneakers have remained strong as a symbol of rebellion and authenticity. In this scenario, Converse had already become a symbol of American culture and a universally popular success among both women and men, spanning all ages and social classes. But Converse didn't stop at the United States. In the mid-1980s, it embarked on a rapid international expansion, and once again, the Chucktaylors replicated the tremendous success they had in their home country. However, with international expansion came the inevitable practice in the fashion world: imitations. These knockoffs have been a headache for Converse. In 2014, the company filed a lawsuit against 31 brands, including Ralph Lauren and Skechers, accused of copying their most iconic model, the Chucktaylor All-Star. The episode, known in the press as the Sneaker Wars, was resolved 6 years later when the International Trade Commission stated that the brand's trade dress, the distinctive elements that allow a customer to identify the shoe, could be protected but had not been infringed upon. Anyway, one thing was certain: the success had been huge. Everyone recognized and wanted a pair of Converse. 116 years later, that original model remains the most beloved by all. With a simple look, practical design, and durable build, it's easy to see the strengths of these sneakers at a glance. But what makes Converse so special, keeping them as top sellers over the years? Well, economically, the turn of the century was tough for Converse. The brand had financial troubles, mainly due to relying heavily on the Chucktaylor All-Star model. In 2001, it filed for bankruptcy and closed all its U.S. factories. The extreme globalization of the new millennium pushed Converse to rethink its strategy, leading to a deal with Nike worth $305 million. Since then, Converse has been part of the Nike family, a favorite brand among basketball players. See, isn't it a bit ironic? Over the past few decades, the love for sneakers created in a small Massachusetts factory has endured. New designs with advanced technology like the Chuck 2 have been released, but none have come close to the success of the iconic All-Star. The recent sneaker frenzy has boosted Converse's sales. Without losing their essence, the Nike-owned brand has adapted to the times and regained its place among the top sneaker brands, with annual sales exceeding $2.4 billion. Nowadays, even luxury brands have jumped into the sneaker market, making the competition fierce. Yet, Converse sneakers are still everywhere. They embody all the characteristics of an icon, a cross-generational phenomenon found in the closets of our favorite stars, from Bella Hadid to Rihanna. Even Harry Potter wears them to confront Voldemort, and Mike Wheeler sports them in Stranger Things. Time will pass, trends will come and go, but Converse sneakers will remain a part of history. And that wraps up this exciting journey through the history of Converse. From its humble beginnings in a small factory in Malden to becoming an icon of pop culture and streetwear, these sneakers have left an unforgettable mark, shaped like a diamond. If you're a true Converse fan, let me know in the comments. What's your favorite model? How do you wear them in your outfits? Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane with Converse. And if you want to hear more fascinating stories behind your favorite brands, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.